Someone across the room just crossed their arms. A few seconds later, without deciding to, so did you. You didn't notice. You almost never do. All day long, without a single conscious thought, you have been copying the people around you, the way they stand, the rhythm of their speech, the exact moment they touch their face. You think you are moving through the world as one separate, self-directed person, but the real answer is far stranger. You are quietly, constantly becoming the people you are near. This has a name. Two psychologists, Tanya, Chartrand and John Bargh, called it the Chameleon Effect. In the late 1990s, they ran a now famous study. They had people sit and talk with a partner, but the partner was secretly working with the researchers. Sometimes that partner would rub their own face. Sometimes they would shake their foot. They never mentioned it. They just did it. And the real subjects, with no idea anything was going on, began to do it too. The face rubbers produced more face rubbing. The foot shakers produced more foot shaking. People had caught the behavior like a cold, and not one of them noticed. Think about how strange that is. A stranger shakes their foot. Minutes later, your foot is moving, and your conscious mind, the part of you that feels like you, was never even told. Why would a brain be built this way? Why would you automatically copy the bodies around you without permission and without awareness? To answer that, scientists had to look inside the brain itself, and they found the copying machine almost by accident. In the early 1990s, a team of neuroscientists in Italy, led by Giacomo Rizzolatti, were studying the brains of macaque monkeys. They had placed tiny electrodes in the region that controls movement, and they could hear individual cells fire each time a monkey reached for a piece of food. Then something odd happened. One of the researchers reached for the food himself, and the monkey's brain cell fired. The monkey hadn't moved at all. It had only watched. But the same cell that fired when the monkey grabbed the food fired when it saw someone else grab the food. They called these cells mirror neurons. Sit with what that means. There is a part of your brain that does not fully distinguish between doing something and watching someone else do it. When you see another person reach or wince or smile, a quiet echo of that same action runs through your own brain as if, on some level, you are doing it too. You don't just observe other people, you simulate them inside yourself automatically. So when someone crosses their arms, a faint version of crossing your arms is already running in your head. Most of the time, it stays a whisper, but often enough, it slips out into your body. The whisper becomes a movement, and you cross your arms without ever knowing why. And this does not begin in adulthood. It begins before you can speak, before you can crawl, before you understand a single word. A psychologist named Andrew Meltzoff made a discovery that startled people. He leaned over newborn babies, some only a few hours old, and slowly stuck out his tongue. And the babies, who had never seen their own faces, who did not yet know they had a tongue, stuck their tongues out back. They opened their mouths when he opened his. They had been in the world for a matter of hours, and they were already copying another human being. The imitation was not learned. You arrived already running it. But this goes far deeper than gestures, because you don't only copy what people do, you copy what they feel. A researcher named Elaine Hatfield spent years studying something she called emotional contagion. Her finding was unsettling in its simplicity. Emotions spread from person to person like a current, mostly through the body. When you are near someone who is anxious, you begin to mirror the small signals of their anxiety, the tightened jaw, the shallow breath, the tense shoulders. And here is the twist. Your brain reads your own body to decide how you feel. So when you copy the posture of anxiety, your brain checks your body, finds the signs of anxiety there, and concludes that you, too, must be anxious. You did not catch their mood by hearing their words. You caught it by quietly copying their body and then believing what your body told you. How fast does this happen? Faster than you can think. A Swedish researcher named Ulf Dimberg ran an experiment that should give you pause. He showed people photographs of faces, some happy, some angry, and measured the tiny electrical signals in their facial muscles. When people saw a smiling face, the muscles that make a smile twitched. When they saw an angry face, the muscles that make a frown twitched. That alone is striking. But then he flashed the faces so quickly that the subjects could not consciously see them at all. The faces were gone before the conscious mind could register them, and the muscles still responded. Still smiled at the smile, still frowned at the frown. Your face was answering other faces before you even knew a face was there. Once you know to look, you start to see it everywhere. You spend a weekend with someone from another part of the country, and a stray piece of their accent follows you home. You sit with a friend who talks slowly, and your own words stretch and slow to meet theirs. Someone near you yawns, and your jaw aches to do the same before you can stop it. Even now, even just reading the word, you may have felt the pull. None of this is decided. All of it is the same machinery, running quietly, matching you to the people in your reach. So step back and look at what you actually are. You move through your day inside an invisible web of imitation. The people near you tug at your posture, your expression, your breathing, your mood, and you tug back. All of you adjusting toward each other, second by second, beneath the surface of awareness. You feel like a single, fixed self. You are closer to a node in a network, constantly syncing with the nodes around you. Now ask the real question, why? Why would evolution build a creature that bleeds so easily into the people around it? Because for your ancestors, blending in was not weakness. It was survival. You evolved inside small groups, and inside those groups, being in sync with everyone else was a matter of life and death. The people who could read a tense face and feel the tension themselves were the ones who sensed danger a moment sooner. The people who unconsciously matched the group's mood, posture, and rhythm were trusted, included, kept close. And the ones who couldn't, who stayed out of step, who didn't catch the fear or share the joy, were the ones quietly pushed to the edge. On the edge of a human group, in the ancient world, you did not last long, so mimicry became a kind of glue. Chartrand and Bargh found this too. When someone subtly mirrors you, you like them more. You find the conversation smoother, warmer, more trusting, even when you have no idea any mirroring took place. Copying each other is how human beings tell without words that they are on the same side. It is the body's oldest language for I am with you. That is why it runs beneath your awareness. A signal of belonging is only honest if you can't fake it on purpose. So evolution hid the controls from you and let your body speak for itself. There is one last piece, and it stretches across whole lifetimes. The psychologist Robert Zayonk once studied photographs of married couples, one picture from early in their marriage, one taken 25 years later. He found that over the decades, the partners' faces had grown to resemble each other, not because of shared genes, because of shared mimicry. Year after year, each had unconsciously copied the other's expressions. The same smiles, the same frowns, the same way of squinting into the same light, until the muscles of their faces wore the same lines. They had spent a lifetime mirroring each other, and slowly the mirroring became written into their skin. So the copying is not a small thing. It is not a quirk. Over a single conversation, it tunes you to the person in front of you. Over a lifetime, it can literally reshape your face. You are made, in part, of everyone you have ever spent time near. The people you love are inside your gestures. The people you grew up with are in the rhythm of your speech. You carry pieces of all of them in the way you move, and you hand pieces of yourself to everyone you meet, without ever deciding to, without ever knowing it happened. Someone across the room just crossed their arms. A few seconds later, so did you. You still didn't notice. But now you know why. That small, invisible copy is the oldest way one human being has ever said to another, "I am with you."